Well, after a pretty hellish schedule, the Sharks actually escaped the week 2-2, and we're going to talk about right now on Teal Town After Dark Pucknologists Takeover Kung Fu Chicken. But of course, if you want to be part of the show, you can interact with us in the chat. You can leave us a like. You can leave us a comment. You can interact with us on social media. We are pretty much everywhere you want us, where you'd want to find us at Teal Town USA. Let's do that thing. That's how this works. You know how this works by now. We just got finished watching the San Jose Sharks beat the Carolina Hurricanes in quite a good win.
Yes.
Hi, Buckeye.
Hello, how's it going?
It is going. It's going fantastic. Who am I kidding?
Oh yeah, no, that's bookend the week with wins. Middle part, teachable moments, I guess we'll say. But this was a decent week that could have been disastrous if they had let the Canes do their thing.
Yeah, I mean, given the schedule, like honestly, and it wasn't pretty. Like there was definitely some parts that weren't pretty this week, but I think given the schedule to escape at 2-2 is, I'll take it.
Absolutely. I mean, you were feeling awful in the middle of the week and maybe a little stressed, considering what Washington and Dallas have been doing, and for that matter, Carolina. But
yeah,
way to hang in there tonight.
All right, so obviously when we do this Pucknologists Takeover of After Dark thing, we always start with the game we just watched. So, as I've said a few times now, the San Jose Sharks beat the Carolina Hurricanes 4-1. Really good game. Colin Graff opens the scoring. Just a nice feed from Celebrini. Celebrini playing his 100th game.
And Eklund playing his 200th, and yes, Mac doing Mac things. That was a nice move, and to set up Colin Graff, who gets moved up to the top line today. I thought, okay, this is pretty good. The changes are and the first 30 seconds looking pretty smooth.
Yeah. I mean, you can't argue. I mean, Colin Graff has been so good this year. I like, obviously not the flashiest player, but I love how tenacious he is defending, and I think that's really that's going to be his bread and butter going forward, man. How can you argue with that, right?
Well-deserved promotion, and way to work your butt off to get into the top line. Because refresh me, when he was at Quinnipiac, he was one, the captain, and two, a strong leader on and off the ice, and definitely had some offensive talents in there for sure. So, to me, it's a nice promotion for all that he's been doing over the parts of 3 seasons he's been with the organization.
Yeah, I love it. And Steve in the chat saying Graff playing his way into being a core piece of this team's future. Look, you need guys like Colin Graff, man. You need guys that can flex up and down the lineup. And I think that's the great thing about Colin Graff. Like, Colin Graff is just as effective on your third line as he is on your first.
And that's huge when trying to, one, leave an impact, and two, keeping your butt on the team. He definitely worked his butt off to make it in early on into the season. Definitely left an impression, I thought, on the at training camp and preseason, to make sure you do your impact. So
guy who we've picked on a lot on this channel. I think the Sharks fandom in general has picked on this guy a lot, but John Klingberg gets a nice goal. Gets his 4th of the season. Again, another nice play by Celebrini, which just seems like death taxes Celebrini doing good things.
which is always a nice thing. But yes, a nice play for Klingberg to pinch in there. Granted, no forward went back to cover his points, so you could have been in trouble if that doesn't go in.
Oh yeah.
But again, let's talk about the positive here. Klingberg with a nice shot going into the spot where it was open, bangs it home, makes it 2-1. And essentially your game winner. I mean, let's be real here. This was a really nice setup, again, as you said, by Celebrini. But Klingberg to have the awareness to go in, and I think that's kind of what Warsa's been hoping from Klingberg lately, is quick decisions.
Yeah. Sharks would continue on the power play. Mikkel Wenberg. Why do I always do this? Why do I
You miss
I've
Granlund so
merged
much.
I know. I merged Granlund and Wenberg into one guy, Alex Wenberg. Gets a score, gets a nice goal on the power play, which had been kind of soft for the Sharks this week, I found. But it was nice to see him get a nice goal. Again, a really nice play. William Eklund putting a nice shot for a rebound on goal. Comes back and Wenberg makes no mistake, which is just fantastic. Celebrini would add an empty netter, get his 15th of the season, and then it is 4-1 Sharks to finish it off. And given the way that this game went, like this, the third period, man, like you would not think that if you looked at that third period, you would and told one of these teams did not play yesterday. Tell me which one it was.
Right?
I don't think you would have picked the Hurricanes, but credit. I think Alex Nedeljkovic making 29 saves tonight. Fantastic. I think he's been fine. Like I don't want to pick on Nedeljkovic, but I think he has Askarov is definitely stolen the shine when it comes to goaltending a little.
Right.
And it was nice to see him have a game like this because I think it's been a while. He's been good, but Askarov, especially last month, Askarov was just phenomenal and probably playing a little bit over his head. And I think that's not really what Askarov did in November. I don't know how sustainable that is for the rest of the season.
Right.
But when you're looking at Nedeljkovic, you're looking at his record, you're going man, we got to get Ned going here. But I thought fantastic tonight.
I mean, you take a look at, outside that 0-4-2 start from everyone, Nedeljkovic hasn't been too bad. There hasn't been a game where it's just been absolute crap here and there. There will be enough. But I mean, he's put up in the month of November, he had some decent starts. Yeah, I think Askey kind of stole the spotlight of it all. And because of how phenomenal he was playing, he was getting more of the starts. Here today, I kind of like how Warsaw set it up. It was a revenge game, since he was drafted second round by the Hurricanes. He put up a strong showing. Nothing was, crazy. He wasn't completely out of place. There were times where I thought this week the guys were kind of swimming in their creases and swimming out of their creases for that matter.
Yeah.
But I thought they were calm, they were cool, collected, and Ned, stick taps to him. 28 saves. And against a team that's can be dangerous. So hats off to him. Definitely has come in and done a phenomenal job securing the goaltending, securing the net minding. Because how many times have we seen it last year? And I hate to go back to last year now that we're 30 games in, but it's how many times have we seen it where these guys just oh, we're up 3-1. And they lose 6-4.
Right. Yeah.
So,
yeah, and I agree. Cash saying that goaltending hasn't been, and I'm not saying it has been an issue. I just think that for a while, you were just getting wildly better starts from Askarov than you were from Ned, and again, I don't think Ned has been bad per se, but none of his starts were ending with W's. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, and to calm the storm too, because no pun intended, 15 shots in the third. 21 shots, and he stopped them all in the final two periods. Love to see that. Love to see them hanging in there. Of course, it's nice to get goal support as well. So when you see Klingberg doing his thing on a 2-point night for Klingberg, a goal and assist, Mac doing Macklin celebrating things with the 3-point night. Heck, even Wenberg with the 2-point night. It's nice that they're getting goal support along with good goaltending, because look where they're at now.
Yeah, I think that they just need to, eventually it's nice to see other guys scoring. Although, like, yeah, Graf was on the top line tonight, but it's nice to see some other guys get going too, because like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the offense this year has gone through Smith and Celebrini,
Yes.
which is good because they're the future of this team. But it's you do like to see it from other places too. Um, let's go back earlier in the week. We'll go back to where the week started. It was another Sharks win. This time it was a Sharks 6-3 victory over the Utah Mammoth. Utah outshot the Sharks 34-30, but the Sharks just filled the net. Tyler Toffoli had 2 goals. Pavel Regenda came up and had a goal on the power play. I don't know how Pavel Regenda gets called up and put on the power play, but he was there. Will Smith with 2 goals. Gaudette with his 7th. Again, another big night. Celebrini had 3 assists. Will Smith had a 3-point game.
Oh,
Tyler Toffoli with a 4-point game. Yaroslav Askarov was fantastic in this game. Again, going back to just some of the fantastic Askarov starts.
yep.
He made 31 saves on 34 shots. I mean, the Sharks they came out and they never let go of this game. This was probably one of the more complete games I think the San Jose Sharks have played this year.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, coming out strong, kind of like tonight, where they came out strong and hung in there. Yes, whether it was Carolina tonight or Utah on Monday, they would bounce back and try and stay in this game, but they shut them down the final 40, which was excellent. I mean, you look at that, and my goodness, you have Toffoli, getting off his night with a 4-point night. I mean, kudos to him, and then Will Smith, with 2 goals, and then 2 goals that are just like SportsCenter top 10 highlight reel goals. So you love to see that. But yeah, an all in all great victory. Definitely felt the swagger. I remember Adam Gaudette kind of like, yeah, get loud.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's the sad thing about this game too, because it was it was a complete game. I thought that the Sharks were really good, but soft attendance for this one. I mean, it was the first day after a long holiday weekend, but surprise, just it's kind of disappointing that you have like such a great game and nobody's there. Not nobody. I mean, there's 11,000 people there, but I'll say nobody.
I mean, it goes back to what Osso said opening night, where the weeknight crowds are tough. And that it doesn't just go for the Sharks. That's the same thing for the Barracuda. We'll get to them a little later, but it's just and this is where I think like the half hour early start kind of gets in the way. I think 7:30 there's time for people to get down there.
Yep.
7 o'clock, if you're working till 5 and you're dealing with traffic in the Bay Area, no. I mean, I mean, it's well known. I live in the Concord area. It takes me easily an hour plus with traffic. So,
yes, like everyone's like, Warsaw told us all. prepare your Wolser Klingberg gloating incoming. I'm sure it will.
Oh yes, and we'll look forward to it. Shang, Max, let's hear about it. Come on.
Toffoli's reaction to Will Smith's highlight reel goal. I was open. It was nice though. I mean, Toffoli gets the stock down bump because I was pretty hard on Toffoli last show. Not that I have any say in these things. Actually, I do. I have these powers, and who do you want to be good next week? I will stock down them today. No.
Where do we begin?
But no, I think it was a big game for Tyler Toffoli, who I think has I think been justly criticized a little bit this season with what's going on.
Yeah.
This is where the fun ends. It goes a little downhill from here, and I apologize.
Oh, just give it to me. Come on.
Wait a second, Larry. I have a hard time getting behind this team. Explain. I need this.
Larry. Yeah. Not to pick on you, dude.
No, I don't pick on you, but explain, please.
But
I need to hear.
I'm curious. because it's definitely, you can feel the vibes. You could definitely feel it going. I will say, what was it? Three three losses in 4 games. I mean, that's a tough one.
Mhm.
And you can even say, like, after that road trip where in Minnesota, where Celebrini wins the game for them in overtime. It's like they kind of calmed down quite a bit after picking it up right away after that 0-4-2 start. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, because this is kind of, and I'm kind of like with Steve here. Like um, like this is the most I've enjoyed watching a Sharks team in a long time. 2019.
yeah. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, definitely bright sides, and not to go behind the teal town curtain, but
Mhm.
doing the after darks were definitely tough over the last
There,
five
yeah, I
six
mean,
years.
like this year, like it's funny because like I like maybe like off comments here and there, but by this point last year, we were already talking about Schaefer, and I'm not
Oh
talking
yeah.
about anybody right now as far as like who the Sharks might draft, which is a nice change to be in December. It's like, oh well, the draft's coming and the draft lottery and blah 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 blah. Like that's not where we are. It's such a nice. It's so nice.
It's nice. I mean, you look at the standings right now. The Sharks are essentially tied for the final wild card spot with the Mammoth.
Mhm.
Utah has the edge because they have 3 more regulation wins.
Sure.
But I mean, Ian, I mean, they're at 31 points.
Mhm.
Both wild card teams are at 31. You know, LA's at 33. Vegas is at 34. Anaheim leads the division for now at 35. I mean, it's nice to see that they're right in the thick of it, and I don't know. I don't recall how close Anaheim was to a playoff spot last year.
They flirted like I feel like at this point, without going and looking, they were flirting with it a little bit, and then it just kind of when the games get harder, which is what I think is going to happen to the Sharks too. Like I know I'm super negative, sue me, but like I feel like when the games get harder, that's when the Sharks are going to probably start to slide a little bit, and that's fine. Like again, like that's I think what they've done this year has been great, and I think that look at I will always like if the Sharks somehow made the playoffs, like obviously I'm going to be jacked to watch playoff hockey that I actually give a shit
Oh
about. But being in the lottery is probably still the best thing for this team.
absolutely. I mean, they're as Jerk would say, which he paraphrased a uh, a CNN anchor, I think it was. We're not there yet. We're
Yeah,
not at that spot, and not to lead us into the middle 2 games of the week, but this week showed that they're not there yet. But that's not necessarily a bad thing.
yeah,
So
yeah. We're six. Yeah, exactly. Like, um, yeah, and look, I agree here. Just like a couple of things here. John saying San Jose getting close to last year's win totals in December, which true, it's great.
yeah,
Dave saying that I think the Olympic break has the potential to reset the Sharks down to a normal PDO, and that's the thing too. Like if you look at a lot of like the underlying numbers with how the Sharks have played, one Askarov has played just not. I don't want to say way over his head because I think Askarov's a really good goalie, but there's definitely more. There's definitely like, oh, that's really good. Like I think that there's definitely like if you look at some of the underlying numbers, there's definitely some warning signs that like this isn't sustainable. Although maybe it is because like look at we've seen teams just go on absolute PDO benders
right.
and make the playoffs. We saw Seattle do it a couple years ago. We saw Vancouver do it, and then they get there and they take Edmonton to 7 games.
Yeah, and or in the case of uh, Seattle, upsetting the defending Cup champs. Um, you know,
What
what
is
is
PDO? Let me try and just PDO. It's puck luck. It's a measure of puck luck, and it just basically like if you're on a PDO bender, it generally means like your shooting percentage is incredibly you're scoring an incredibly high amount of goals, like percentage wise, more than normal, right? Like normally you're going to score individually, a player generally is going to shoot around 10%. So if a guy's like at 23%, like generally that's not sustainable, right? And also goaltending kind of plays into PDO too. Like if
Right.
you get a lot of saves like you got from Askarov in November, who was just unreal. I think Askarov's I can't remember what the goal save above expected was for him
It was
in November,
ridiculously
but
something.
it was something just stupid high that's again
Yeah.
probably not sustainable.
Yeah. But we are getting some of the quotes coming in, so I'm going to jump in really quick before we
Yeah,
do move on.
Paul's saying it's a team shooting percentage plus team save percentage.
Coming from Shang, Warsofsky said this was Klingberg's best game of the season.
Here we go.
But overall, he said, oh, come on. I thought all of our guys were really good. I didn't think we had any passengers tonight.
I'd agree. Everyone was really good. Like, if I'm glad that there was like, if I had to come up with a stock down and this was the only game of the week, I don't know who I would pick.
Right. I mean, everybody had a contribution into this game. So, into tonight's game, I should say. So
yeah. And so Paul saying save percentage usually at 900, which is average goaltending this year, and shooting percentage is at about 1, which equates to 1, right? See, so I'm terrible at explaining. I like using
but that's nice. Yeah.
But I'm the worst at explaining them. What's going on? What I missed?
Oh, John Swenson in the chat. Stock down, World Cup draw.
Yeah.
And Dan Moore is saying Klingberg's best game of the season is a low bar.
It is 100% a low bar. But you know what? He got over it.
Yeah. No.
The bar may be on the floor. It might even be buried in the dirt a little bit, but he got over it.
He got over it and you move on. However, earlier this week,
things went bad.
We weren't saying
back on track here.
Yeah, no, you're good.
The San Jose Sharks had the Washington Capitals come and visit them, and visit them they did. The Capitals 7-1 victory over the Sharks. This was bad. Just a lot of these, like the defense was putrid this game. I thought both goalies got hung out to dry pretty badly on a lot of plays. Askarov starts the game. He makes 8 of 12 saves, 8 saves on 12 shots, sorry. And he is yanked. Alex Nedeljkovic comes in and he makes 16 saves on 19 shots. Pavel Regenda, the lone scorer for the San Jose Sharks, again on the power play. 2 power play goals for Pavel Regenda. And now he's gone and the power play just went to hell.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was not a pretty one. And Washington, I think, is like one of the best 5-on-5 teams in the league. And it showed.
Yeah. We used to call the Capitals San Jose Sharks East, but I don't want to call they stopped being Sharks East when they won the cup.
Yeah. When you win a cup, you aren't Sharks East.
But yeah, and I do want to appreciate Paul for coming in and helping me explain PDO, because I have a general idea, but I don't know, coming down with like this was the legit thing. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the help.
Right. Yeah. And Big Bird saying, I would love to have been on a fly on the wall in the meeting with the top line guys in Warsaw. Yeah. And there were times where I think Warsaw started power play unit 2. Mm-hmm. For that Washington game, especially on the third period, which is why I think Regenda was in there. And tell me if I'm wrong. Did both of Regenda's goals like go off of him? Not necessarily he shot it in himself. I know the one
he was in. That's what he does. He stands in front of the net and lets pucks bounce off of him. Gets in the goalie's eyes. That's him.
Yeah, yeah, and like Keshtafer saying, I thought the Caps were going to be putting up 10, and they're on their way, big time. Yeah. But
I mean, still good though, right? He came up and play. I like Pavel Regenda. I think he's so he plays a really quiet game, but he's just like it's a good quiet game. You know, like he's never gonna amaze you with just like super flashy plays, but he's just so solid, and he probably even on the Barracuda, I think he gets overlooked a lot by even by me. And it's hard, it's easy to overlook guys when you look at what's going on down there. We'll get there. I don't know why I'm jerking the show around. I'm just going to talk about the Barracuda. No, that's not how we do this. I'm coming back.
Don Swenson, yes. I'm putting that on his hockey card. That's what Rickinda does. He stands in front of the net and lets a puck bounces off of him. Yeah.
But I do like Palver again. I think he's a good player. I was surprised you got the call up, but I mean, kudos to him for getting the most out of it.
Yeah, and I think we mentioned it on the shows this week that I think more than anything they don't want to start. If it's me, I didn't want to start the clock on some of the kids who haven't made their debuts yet. So Regenda and what was it, about a year ago where he got moved from the goals for Justin Bailey. And that's a solid pick from Joe Will.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be a nice it's a nice move. I think he's probably ultimately always going to be that tweener guy who can come in and probably play in your bottom six, and also can be really good in the AHL. I don't know. If you asked me going into the season who was going to be called up, Pavel Regenda would have been pretty far down my list, and that's not a knock on him. It's just when you look at the depth chart. Yeah.
But yeah, that Caps game was pretty bad.
This Caps game, I mean, there's not really too much to say here. I mean, again, I thought both goalies got hung out to dry here repeatedly. Right. The defense was absolutely putrid.
Yeah.
Just like not even just like the defenses and the defensemen, like just team defense in general, I thought was just absolutely atrocious this game.
And just I think Jules calls it like a fire drill. Sometimes they looked like they were running around, and a testing point that they got to learn from, which they kind of did on Friday night.
This one I'm going to need your help because I never got around to actually going back and watching this one. The Dallas Stars beat the Sharks by a 4-1 score. It was tied for a long time. I watched the end of this game. I got home and then it was tied, and then it became 4-1.
It was one of those. They're doing that typical Sharks thing from last year where I don't think they had a recorded shot on goal until like 3 minutes to go in the first period.
Mm-hmm.
And Dallas gets on the board first, but I think after that kind of woke them up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Graf gets his fourth, being in the right spot at the right time, at least to me. I mean, and of course, him and Dellandrea, and granted, Graf was on the first unit today, but him and Dellandrea have definitely played really strong hockey together and really have, helped each other out there. You had Skinner, coming back into the lineup, and I thought, not bad. I'm sure you're going to, get the rust off a little bit after missing, I think it was like 10 games.
Yeah.
And Askarov, I thought, played really pretty well, even going into the third period where I think Dallas took advantage of the Sharks, jet lag a little bit. I mean, it had been a while since they really,
they had to play in a different time zone.
Yeah, where they really had to play, halfway across the country or the continent for that matter, because the game-winning goal from Sam Steele, and the guy was just all over the place, especially in the third period when the Sharks had the power play in the third. They couldn't do anything, and Sam Steele, I think, had at least 2, if not 3, shorthanded chances. And if I think they mentioned on the broadcast that the Sharks are the worst team for shots on goal shorthanded allowed. Like, we're giving up shorthanded chances left and right, and if there was a guy on the Stars that deserved to get the game-winning goal, it would have been Sam Steele. And like John's saying in the chat, complaining about refs never works, but that Dallas game was pretty bad too. So
yeah. Yeah, I look at I only caught the end of this. I was at a Greyhounds game before that.
quite
So
chilly.
I got home. I watched the game, and then obviously that game ends. The Barracuda game starts not too long after. I just never got a chance to catch up. I do apologize. I try to obviously be prepared for
How
these things, but
how dare you
I
even?
know it's like I have a life outside of the game. It's bad.
Plus a wife and kids. I
Yeah,
mean, apparently the kids got reacquired. That's good.
that's yeah. I resurrected them. It's fine.
Okay, good. But I mean, yeah. Hey, you enjoy yourself. I see you're rocking your Sioux Greyhounds jersey, and that
I
is a
am.
sweet
Yes,
alt.
it's the black one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. But yeah, and hey, you have it. How far are you? Not to fox your location, but how far are you from their arena?
I mean, in Sault Ste. Marie, no one's far from the arena.
Okay.
5 minutes.
He could walk in the snow.
I could have. I could definitely walk there if I wanted to. I mean, I wouldn't,
Oh,
but yeah, I could.
there, I will get to Canada. I will get to a junior hockey game,
Yeah,
and
it's great. I will.
I look forward in the snow.
I definitely will talk more about it later because I was watching Hoshi Wang and the Oshawa General, so we will definitely get to that.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Liljegren took responsibility for the Sam Steele goal. He said, "That's on me. I got to play way better. I feel like I've been playing pretty shit of late." And he was a guy who I had my stock down. I thought he was fine today though.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's fine today.
Yeah, definitely was when remembering that goal, Sam Steele was like all over the ice and worked his way and got the game winner. And Liljegren had a tough time, staying with him. Definitely exposed him defensively on that part. So
I again like, but it goes back to like what I mean. It's not like this is some unique talking point that we've had. Everyone's had it, but like
right.
there's 9 defensemen on this team, and like I'm waiting to see how the Sharks are eventually going to address this because it doesn't make sense. Like, yeah, okay, so you could say like he's been bad, but I kind of retweeted it and said, yeah, hell yeah, he's been bad. But but some people did push back on me on that and say, hey, but like it's hard when you're playing with a different guy every night, or you're not playing every night because they're trying to rotate through 9 guys to get 9 guys playing regularly. And and there definitely is some truth to that. I think
Absolutely.
the longer this goes on, like I'm really surprised it's gone on as long as it has, to be honest. And obviously, as more guys, like who's on the IR right now, like who's missing?
Desharnais.
So then they like, how do they have 9 defensemen on? Like, do they just have no spare forwards right now? I guess not, eh?
I mean, I believe not. Which is probably why you've seen
What are we
the
doing?
likes of Ostapchuk and Regenda getting called up.
Yeah. Well, someone's got to be there because the stop check's still up. Someone has to still be on.
Right. So stop. Well, and Reeves. Reeves was.
Oh, Ryan Reeves, right.
How can I miss Revo? My goodness. Awesome guy. Great guy in the room. Great guy in the room. How's that?
Also, you just got to get to Portland, which
and
Portland would be a good time, yeah.
I would love to go to Portland. My girlfriend has always talked about going to Oregon, and would be an excuse to see one of my best hockey friends up there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the most part, I know the guy who made their jerseys, and
nice.
that was one I was trying to find in Luca Cagnoni before he made it to the pros. That one's pretty sweet.
It is pretty awesome. A couple other questions here before we move on.
Go for it.
Steve asking, do you think Musty and Chernyshov will get a go this year with the big plug, or with the big club? Sorry, with the big plug, or is that a next season thing? I think that they probably get some games later on, especially if like the trade deadline happens and the Sharks. The trade deadline to me is going to be the most fascinating thing this year. Which imagine that being the most fascinating thing this year is the trade deadline, because it's going to be. It's not a guaranteed sell-off. So I think it's going to be interesting to see what the Sharks do there, where they're at. I still think, again, do I think that this is going to be a team that sneaks into the playoffs and then like goes deep? No, probably not. But if they're in the mix, like it's going to be interesting to see what Mike Greer does, because you kind of have to balance the future with doing right by what's there right now and the effort that the guys have made all year. I think it's be fascinating, but I do believe that if someone's going to move, and some of these guys, they're going to get a couple of games somewhere just to reward, because they've been out, like Chernyshov and Musty have been outstanding.
Yep.
They are like I the Barracuda offense is really good this year, but like to me, like I would go to a Barracuda game just to watch those two. And that might sound really disrespectful for you, Luca Cagnones and the Cam Lunds and the, you know what I mean? But like to me, they're the whole fucking show.
Oh, absolutely. Lex, the baddie 145. Hi, my dear. One of my good friend's daughters in the chat. Good to see you. But Mac and Smitty been carrying the team lately. Yes, although those two
Oh, yeah.
losses, they were pretty much a no show. So nice to see them back on the score sheet today in this victory.
Let me get to Big Bird, and then I'll get to the super chat.
Yeah, go for it. Go.
Big Birds, Ian, what is your honest assessment of Misa? I love Michael Misa. I think Michael Misa is a hell of a player. I think that he is I think if you were looking, like, it's interesting, right? Because when he was drafted, obviously, like you're like, oh well, now the Sharks have three centers, because don't forget Will Smith is also like a natural center. But to me, like, I think that, like, to me, you're looking your 1-2 punch is going to be Celebrini Misa with Smith on the wing, because I think that Misa right now already is a better center than Will Smith is. So that's my opinion. I think he's really good. I think, look at did he, when we're gonna get to the Barracuda right next after you do the super chat, but like, did he light the world on fire this weekend? No, but I thought he made some good plays after not playing for a while. Again, you have guys that are just not getting regular reps, and it's very frustrating. John with the $10 super chat. Again, super chats help us keep the lights on. It helps us make sure that we can do a 2.5 hour show and there will not be a single ad inside of it. Generally, we don't like to go 2.5 hours, but we do sometimes, and we don't feed you guys a single ad. And so we do appreciate any super chats, help keep the lights on and keeps us ad free. So we appreciate that. Thank you, John. I have a question for you both. What is the priority of this team? Is it to resurrect the career of veterans like Klingberg, Letty, Reeves, or to develop young players like Misa, Dickinson, Mukmadulin? I think it's
why not both?
To me, it's to me, it's something that the Sharks have to balance, because I do think that, again, going into the season, you brought guys in and you're like, okay, some of these guys are just here to, to be here, maybe play well, and then hopefully find themselves on a contender or at least a playoff team.
Yep.
After the trade deadline, right? So I think it is a balance, but I do get the frustration from people, because I'm frustrated too. What a guy getting listed, Mukmadulin is a guy who has been absolutely, in my opinion, just shafted by the 9 defenseman problem. And I'm surprised that it's taking as long as it is for this to kind of reach some sort of resolution. Because again, you have other guys like, you have guys like that. Obviously, Mike Greer likes in Iorio, who he put on the Barracuda for a while just to get him some games to keep him playing, because I think he feels that if he puts him back on waivers, the Capitals will be like, "Yep, thank you, we'll take him back." If someone else doesn't, and then immediately just send him to the A. Like, so it's frustrating, because I think, like, it's a balancing job, and I don't think the Sharks have done a particularly great job, because I think you look at Michael Misa's an interesting case, because again, he's an 18-year-old, and I would like to see him obviously get more games, but I understand why. I don't like it, but I understand why he's not getting as many games as I'd like. And there's the contract situation too, right? You have to either move a contract to get him on, or and you're also worried about burning the first year of his contract. Again, you have the thing when you draft all these high end guys in the top rounds is eventually you have to pay them all, and they probably would like to stagger that out a little bit so they're not
Right.
just like, okay, so Will Smith and Matt Celebrini, here's 15 $16 million, and
Right.
between the two of you, I mean, probably more than that, actually, let's be honest. And then next it's going to be like, and then next, then the next year it's going to be like, okay, Sam Dickinson, let's see what we're going to pay you. And then Misa's going to be in there some point too. Like
Yep.
that's that's the fascinating thing. I don't know, I mean, I think it's again, to go back to my initial thing, I think it's an issue of a balancing act. I don't think they've done a particularly fantastic job at balancing it, but I do think it's a balancing act between the two. Again, thank you so much for the super chat. I hope that answers the questions.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of what I was kind of looking in the chat here, like Isaac saying, we're in that awkward middle where you could compete for a playoff spot, but the rebuild will be stronger if you use the assets for
Yeah.
long term as
Yeah.
opposed to short window. Yeah, I mean,
I
look,
think you look at the Los Angeles Kings, right? I
yeah,
think the Los Angeles Kings, for teams in the division, I think that's your cautionary tale, where they kind of they really quickly got themselves back into the playoffs, but what has it got them? Three straight first round exits to Edmonton, and I don't know. Like, so
yeah,
it's definitely a juggling act. No, obviously, Los Angeles also didn't strip it down to the bolts. Like, they always had Kopitar, they always had Doughty, so they didn't go complete scorched earth like the Sharks did. But I do admire them for that. I think that, especially with the way free agency is starting to work now, where free agency is becoming quite the dud every year. It seems
ain't
like
that
it's
the
like,
truth?
um, there might be something to the way that LA did it. I think you've seen a lot of teams that have gone scorched earth, and they're kind of, especially in the East, are spinning their wheels. They've been spinning their wheels in the mud for a while. Obviously, Buffalo's been spinning their wheels in the mud forever, but
Yeah,
but Detroit, Ottawa finally got in last year, but Detroit, Ottawa also come to mind as teams that went complete scorched earth, and they're still trying to spin their way out of it. And they've been at it a lot longer than the Sharks have. So
and let me add on to that, and I'll ask you this: is there more pressure to do that because you've had the high picks, where you've drafted the best forward available in the draft back-to-back years?
yeah,
You have a up and coming goaltender who we saw in November at B,
yeah.
fantastic, where you can see that potential. Granted, he's had some hiccups, here and there within the last couple of weeks. Does it?
He was going to come back to earth, though. Like,
Oh yeah,
he was not just going to stop everything that came at him, regardless of how ridiculous the opportunity was, forever. Like,
but if we're like 5 years ago with Detroit, where they
mhm,
haven't had, I mean, you talk about PDO in the draft
mhm.
lottery, yeesh, for Detroit, but you know,
Yeah,
but
the draft lot, for anyone who thinks the draft lottery is rigged, then
ask
what did
Detroit,
Detroit do to the NHL? Because, I mean, when you look at it, right? Like, when you look at teams that you would think that, if this was all fixed, that the NHL would really want to do good, the Red Wings would be right up there, man. The Red
right?
Wings are huge market.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and that's where. But I kind of look at like the sense of that. Okay, how you've drafted in the last couple of years, does that add some pressure on to maybe get closer next year? I think we've all said it. This year is not the year that they're going to make the push. Granted, now they're pushing, but now does it add on to the pressure a little bit? I don't know.
yeah, definitely. Oh, definitely. I think it does. Like, look at the Sharks. You're gonna have a guy, and it's gonna be interesting because, again, I think, like, free agency is gonna be is just more and more of a dead every year. But if you have a guy like Macklin Celebrini, who's on pace right now
Yeah.
for over 100 points, and you can't do anything with that, fired.
And the other thing too, I think you can kind of go with in the sense of what Toronto did when they had all their youngsters come together, Matthews, Marner, and Nylander. Do you take advantage of that
They
one
never got a
year?
they never got a blue liner.
Right, but I mean, do you
Mhm.
take advantage of having a entry level deals for the guys and try to go for it next year. I mean, that would be probably against it because
I don't know, right? Because a lot of because to your question more, like it kind of goes back to that Blackhawks team that won the cup when Kane and Taves were both on there. But the problem is like, and that's the comparison that was, but like, well, what about when Chicago did this? But it's like, look at the blue line they had. Duncan Keith, Seabrook, yeah, young, but like those guys, Duncan Keith's Hall of Fame, Jalmerson, and they were also able to get a guy like Marian Hossa in free agency.
Yeah. And that's the other thing too. I think this season right now definitely changes the tide of how this team is being perceived. Yes, I think the guys like Toffoli and Wenberg and Klingberg that Greer has signed has helped move things. But I think now that there's a plan in place, the kids are coming up. If
I think
somebody that can come up,
there's a
that would
guy
be
that
huge.
comes up in free agency, and again, I don't know what I'm assuming the free agency class isn't that good because everyone keeps extending.
We've canceled a free agent frenzy. We're all going to Bob McKenzie's cottage, on July 1st. I mean, I think that's where we're at, unless we're getting Panarin, which I can't see that happening.
Who do you even want Panarin at this point? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I think like that's the thing. Like obviously, I think if like the Sharks are in a nice position now, where I think is something that they do see that does kind of fancy their eye, that could be a good complementary piece. Like they're in a situation now where it makes a lot of sense to go get that player. Whereas I think in the last couple of years, you'd be like, yeah, I guess that makes sense for when this team is good, but when is this team going to be good? I think now that you've seen kind of some proof of concept, again, you're going to have Macklin Celebrini. He's going to be probably 100-point player this year.
Yeah.
Over 100 points, right? And so now you have to start. So if you see something that really fancies your eye that you think can really be a piece to go forward, like I think you're a lot more comfortable making that move. If you are Mike Greer, some of these comments are great. The disrespect to Phil Zadina. they did though, right? Like let's get the Steel Curtain question here. If Hughes signed an extension with us, would you do Eklund, Mukhamadullin and Edmonton's first for him? Add Garland to replace Eklund too. Yeah, I'm assuming I'm assuming we are talking Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, I would think Quinn Hughes
question, right? Yeah, 100%. Yes. Yeah, there's not much I wouldn't do to get a guy like Quinn Hughes on this team, because again, that is what like I think the world of Sam Dickinson, but like other than that, like Pullcamp, I like Pullcamp a lot too. But I don't know what he's going to be like as far as like projectability for pro hockey. If you can add, I mean, look at if you are an NHL team and Quinn Hughes is actually available, like you have to be picking up the phone, whether you're the San Jose Sharks or or the Colorado Avalanche. Like everyone should pick up the phone for Quinn Hughes.
I mean, I'd be down, but I think you're replacing Mukhamadullin with either Cagnoni or Pullcamp in that deal.
Probably, but again, it's Quinn Hughes.
But it's Quinn Hughes. You go for it.
I love Pullcamp. I love Luca Cagnoni.
Yeah.
Neither of those guys is going to be Quinn Hughes. All right. Let's get to that other team in the Bay Area.
Let's do it.
The San Jose Barracuda had a okay week. They went 1-1. They played 2 games against the
Tucson Roadrunners.
Who I always want to spell Tucson like with the S first before the C.
The Tucson Roadrunners.
Yeah, whatever, man. I don't know why I just admitted that on air. It's the worst. The first game, the Barracuda won by a 4-3 score. They put up 34 shots to Tucson's 33. Kasper Haltnen gets a goal, gets the monkey off his back. I think I have a clip. Let's
play it.
Let's run it.
Oh, look at that. And what a quick shot. I mean, that's not an easy angle to get that off of. Camera, turn around.
Come on.
There it is.
There we go. Nice shot. Gets the monkey off his back. nice shot for him. That's his 5th of the season. Luka Cagnoni also scores his 5th.
Oh,
Igor Chernyshov scored his 11th, and Lucas Carlson stays hot. He gets his 7th to ice it. And this was final in overtime. The one thing I really liked about this game was that every time, like the Roadrunners generally were the team that was ahead every time. But every time the Roadrunners scored, it seemed like the Barracuda had an answer. Like later when they went up by like 2, when they scored their second and third goals, the Roadrunners did. There was an answer within a minute. The
yes.
Barracuda turned around and answered the call. Jakub Skarek had 30 saves in the win, which was actually a really good game by Skarek. So good game by the Barracuda. I forgot to do stock up, stock down for the Sharks. We'll have to go back now.
We'll have
Fucked
to
it
go
all
back.
up.
No,
Fucked
no,
it all
we'll
up.
just keep doing. We'll do
It's
stock
fine.
up.
Yeah. It's fine. Good game. A little bit scrambly to start the overtime, but eventually Lucas Carlson finishes. Lucas Carlson has been just money this year for the Barracuda. It's going to be good. People saying that Quinn Hughes is going to New Jersey. Yeah, I agree. But again, if you're an NHL team and he is actually available,
You call.
you call.
You make that call.
I don't
Make
care.
it tougher. Make it even more painful of a cap hit for New Jersey.
Yes, yeah. Make
Say it.
you run it up so like New Jersey has to give up everyone.
Right.
The good times, they did not continue though for the Barracuda. The next game, the next night, they would lose a 6-2 decision to the Roadrunners. They put a ton of shots on goal, but to me, this game, not a great game for the Barracuda. They got up early and then they just kind of let their foot off the gas, and they really never got their foot back on the gas. Like, you're going to hear 41 shots and you're think, oh man, they got goalied. They kind of got goalied. Look, Matt Villalta was the goalie for the Roadrunners in this game. He generally makes the Barracuda's lives miserable. He did it when he was on the Reign. He's done it since he's been on the Roadrunners. But even though it was 41 shots, these were not 41 quality shots. There was a lot of perimeter shots. It was frustrating, man, because I thought they came out really good. They get the teddy bear goal. Let me show you the teddy bear goal.
Mm-hmm. Come on, give me some teddy bear goals.
Jack Thompson scoring this one, just gets the puck from behind the net, passed out to him. He scores it, and the teddies were flying, and it was nice. Like at this point, like the Barracuda were all over them.
Yeah.
Like after this goal, like obviously this is only a second shot on goal for the Barracuda, but again, like just a frustrating game because they came out really good. And even after, like, again, like they played it wasn't a situation where the teddies flew and everyone has to stand around for 10 minutes. And you know what I mean? Like it wasn't that situation where it's like, oh, they just lost the momentum. I don't know, man. Like it's just a frustrating game. And they just they put themselves in a hole and they couldn't dig out of it. Jack Thompson got the teddy bear toss goal. Cam Lund also added one. Again, just a good. Gabe Carrier had a rough outing. I think that the Barracuda goaltending is just been okay. Something that makes me kind of sad is I wish they had this group of skaters last year when they had Askarov back there, because I think this team with Askarov would be absolutely insane. But unfortunately, like obviously, like Askarov's in the NHL where you want for the best. Like obviously, he's where you should be. But it does disappoint me that Askarov couldn't be behind this team, because I think if you put Askarov behind this team, like this is a team that could absolutely threaten for the Calder Cup, and they still might. Like, look at this is a team that's second in the Pacific Division, a spot that they've been holding for a while now. I still think this is a great team. Like, this is a team that if you can take the time to go out and see, you should go see them.
Absolutely.
Obviously, it was a sellout crowd for the Barracuda yesterday. I always feel like whenever they sell out or they're on TV, they always put up a stinker, and that always frustrates me because I think like. Yeah. Especially like this year, because like this is a team that you should be paying attention to. This is the best professional hockey team in San Jose.
This like I said, I think in the description of it, this is the best team this pro team in Northern California. I mean, they've been on that good of a bender lately.
Yeah, they've been on a tear.
But pardon me for being a jersey geek here during the Cuda recap. My God, those Cuda jerseys were awesome last night.
They
I
were. Do
mean,
we have you have a picture of them? I don't have.
I will put one up in a sec
All
here,
right.
but I mean, the gingerbread theme just is like, it's not overly done, but it just so good, so good. All right, let me pull it up really quick. But
Yeah.
while we're doing that, what's your stock up, stock down for the Cuda?
Give me a second. Let's talk about Michael Misa first. I thought again, Michael
Oh, Misa.
Misa
Sorry,
only
I'm
had
sorry.
an assist. That's okay. No. Michael Misa had an assist in the first game. Quite the second, but I've liked what he was doing. Like he played. I thought he played well. I thought he was making plays. Again, Barracuda didn't really, as a team, didn't play well yesterday, and it's a shame. Again, full packed house, and I wish that they would. I wish that they would have been able to put up a better performance in front of a packed house like that. But I do. It doesn't change my opinion. Like if you can get out and see this team, you absolutely should. Come up and see that team. Your stock up was the teddy bear jerseys, which you're getting up.
Yeah.
Mine, Jack Thompson and Cam Lund. Jack Thompson, I thought had a really good couple of games. Got on the score sheet a couple of times here, which is nice for him because I think he's been. I mean, he's not. That's never going to be his role to be like the super offensive defenseman. But I thought, he's been good, and I think he's kind of been. He's a guy that's definitely lost in the shuffle when you're talking about guys like Iorio being around and Mook Madulin can't get regular games and Sam Dickinson starting to get a little more regular games, but obviously Sam Dickinson is way ahead of these guys on the depth chart. So, a good for, I thought really good. The power play, which had been unreal coming into this week, they did some damage to a really good Colorado penalty kill the week before.
Big time.
Awful this week. Pretty bad this week. Again, nothing really went the Barracuda's game last night. Like nothing really went their way. But the power play definitely not good. So I think that's probably where I would put it. And I think the goaltending's been fine. But I don't think much of either guy at this point. And Tiger, I got to give Tiger credit for this. Like Matt Davis, who is on a Barracuda contract, who played for Denver, the national championship team in Denver, a couple of years. He is currently in the ECHL, and he's been unreal down there.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating. Again, like obviously you don't want an injury that kind of moves guys around, but he's a guy that I'd like to see get some starts for the Barracuda again. Obviously ECHL, DHL it's a jump, but he's been unreal for a Wichita team that's not very good.
They need to reward him, honestly. I mean, I haven't really seen it, but I've seen the numbers that he's been putting up for a team that hasn't exactly been lights out in Wichita.
Mm-hmm.
Get him up here, get a chance to see what happens there. But that was it. Okay, you ready for this?
I am ready.
This is a beautiful jersey.
I dig it. Yeah, I do like it.
And that crest was awesome. The gingerbread look was pretty cool. So they sold those off last night at the game.
Mm-hmm.
The cheapest one was $900. And a lot of them ranged from $1,000 and $1,900, except for Michael Misa's, which went for $4,000.
Wow.
So I don't know if it's going to the team or it's going to a charity.
I would assume it's going to the Sharks Foundation. I would assume.
I would hope. I will see. But yeah, and Big Bird saying, I think it was like just short of 6,000 teddy bears. So those are all going to local hospitals. So that's
awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love the teddy bear toss. I think the teddy bear toss is the coolest tradition in hockey.
Yes.
Circling back to the Sharks, because I did forget to stuck upside down on the Sharks. I went on Twitter and asked for some thoughts. I'm going to go through those first. AJ said that Letty's always a down. It's true. Like it just goes without saying at this point. Like I'm not even gonna say it anymore. It goes without saying. The only way Letty's gonna get even mentioned on this show going forward, from me anyway.
Right.
If he somehow manages to get stuck up, good luck, buddy. Anthony said that up was Graf, down Klingberg, and the first power play unit, which coming into this game, I think was very fair.
Yep.
Sophie said up Dickinson, down Kurashev, Letty and Klingberg go without saying at this point. Sophie knows what's up.
Yeah.
A lot of people. Dave also said up Dickinson, down Warsaw, and his development plans. Again, again, the development days. But I think this whole situation, like, as much as I'd want to get on Warsaw for this is Mike Greer's problem. Mike Greer needs to fix this. He has 9 defensemen on this active roster with Vinny Desharnais on the IR. Like, this needs to get fixed. And this is like, as much as I want to chew Warsaw for this is Mike Greer's problem, and he needs to fix it. Mm-hmm. And Mike said that some guys don't even have stock anymore. I'm assuming he's talking about Letty and Klingberg.
That is so fair, Mike. Good job.
My up is going to be Pavel Regenda, because again, he came up, he scored a couple of goals. I thought he was very good in a call up. I thought the thing you want from when a guy gets called up is you want to make the most of the opportunity. Pavel Regenda did, man. Like, yes, okay, fine. Like, yes, he scored the lone goal. He scored the big goal in a 7-1 loss, but like, he scored a goal. Like, I thought he was good. I think he's, again, like, going back to what I said earlier in the show, I don't think he gets enough credit for how good his game is because it's quiet. Beauty Bandit saying it is it's going to be
Cuda helping
charity.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Perfect. Good to know. You have what is your and also Colin Graff. The people have spoken and they are correct. Colin Graff's awesome. Colin Graff definitely stock up. Go ahead.
Well, now you stole my thunder. I was good. No, you're good. You're good. Colin Graff was definitely my guy. I mean, he's been lights out. And as we mentioned at the top of the program, definitely well deserved to try him out on the top line. So kudos to him. You can, I did like God Dead. I liked a little bit, you can go, I definitely was going to say Regenda as well. And congrats on getting 2 goals. Now have fun back with the Cuda.
Yes.
So yeah,
I'll stock down for AJ for not being here and having.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's stock down to Puck Guy apparently. No.
Yeah, apparently.
The people have spoken. Again,
yes.
Sorry, AJ. The people have spoken.
Yeah, AJ, get your butt over here.
Okay. But stock down. Who do you got?
The fucking power play, dude. Oh my God. This was bad. I mean, and I know there were some people like, oh God, we're separating the kids together. Will Smith's going to be on the second power play, but Klingberg's still there. Oh God. And then I'm trying to refresh me if I'm not. Wasn't the shorthanded goal by Washington? I want to say that was shorthanded when Mukhamadullin had turned over the puck. And then they get all fancy and everything, put the puck between Klingberg's legs to drop past it for the shorthanded goal.
This sounds right, but I have watched so much hockey this week that it's just a blur at this point.
I mean, I'm so jealous.
Everything's kind of just, I've seen so many goals this week.
This is not fair. He gets to enjoy hockey 24/7. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, the Brandon Duhaime goal that made it 4-0 was shorthanded. Yeah, that was the one, and it's like, oh man, you can't just do that. And of course, yes, and a drop pass on a break. Yeah, that's just so unacceptable. And as we mentioned before as well, you see Sam Steele doing things third period power play. And they had no cohesion whatsoever against Dallas, where they could have gotten back into that game. It just never occurred. So
you would never give you a stock down. You were Safeway Brothers.
That's thank you. Yeah, you poor thing. If you're still at Safeway, I'm so sorry. Hang in there, man. Well, I'm not gonna get on that. I'm not gonna get on a rant on that one, but hang in there, man.
Lockdown, man. I don't know. I mean, the usual suspects, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's hard because like I feel like it's been such an uneven week where you could like stock down a guy, but then you'd be like, well, he was good this week, and like he was good today, for example, right? And like
Right. Whose game have you not liked within the last few weeks?
I mean, I was definitely coming into today. I was definitely like, Lily, I think you're still on my stock down list, but I thought he was decent today. Again, like it's when you beat a team like Carolina, it kind of changes your perspective, right? When guys play
Right.
decently, like and again, I just think I don't know, stock down Mike Greer, man. Sort this defense situation out. Like sort this shit out, please. Just get
Right.
these. I just want to see guys get regular line, like regular games with regular partners. That's not a complete jumble where they're not afraid that, well, if I screw up, there's 3 guys waiting to get into the lineup instead of me. So I can't make a mistake. And now I'm making a mistake because I can't, I can't make a mistake because there's 3 guys looking for ice time.
uh, forgive me for getting the name wrong. Hail, John Swinson. Yes, fire Letty into the sun, of course.
Yes. It doesn't rhyme with
But
Henry. Henry thrown into the sun rhymed. It was so good.
But the one underneath it, Hail King 888, stock up graph, stock not as up everyone else.
Everyone else, Macklin Celebrini is always stock up, man. Like that's what I said. Like Macklin Celebrini just goes without saying at this point, and like Letty goes without saying at this point. They're just like permanent stock up, stock down.
No, I getcha.
They do not need to be stated because we just know.
Oh man. You know who else is a stock down? And maybe this will lead on to it. The rink being built in Italy.
Yes. So that's interesting. Yeah. So let's get to some other news and notes here. Obviously, the rink is they made it smaller than an NHL rink. It's apparently shorter. I don't know how that happens. I know the NHL has kind of been talking tough about this, but like to me, I'm not worried. I feel like every Olympics we always have like this situation where it's like this building ain't gonna be done, and then somehow it gets done every year, every time.
I mean, and you have it written here: no rink, then no NHL players are going to the Olympics. I don't think that
I can't
there's
imagine that.
Oh my god, the Players Association would lose their minds.
Well, that's it, right? Because like what I look at here, and I think if you're the NHL, like, and I do think like I think there's going to be a lot of posturing and stuff that's going to scare a lot of people. But to me, ultimately, if you look at the past CBA that they just signed, and it was a big victory, no lockout, thank fucking God.
Yes.
But what did the players get in the CBA?
The Olympics.
That's it. They got nothing. Like they really got nothing else. Like I thought the players like really gave up, because again, like what changed? The LTI rules changed. Okay, that you could say that that's a win for the players too, especially ones that are on teams that don't have injuries, so they can't just add and then have reinforcement for the playoffs. So you can say that's kind of win, but really ultimately like the LTI rules are awesome because like they allow a player to get they allowed teams to go over the cap, which is obviously, which I think helps the players that got locked out, that got knocked down. Contract terms, players look at NHL players are dumb because they sign 8-year contracts instead of signing short contracts and maximizing their value. But it is a contact sport; injuries are prevalent in it, so I can understand that got knocked down. Like what did they get? Nothing. They got all they got was best on best every 2 years. That's it. So I can't imagine like I think at the NHL like they're not going to come out and say, well, we need to do this for the players, but I think underneath all the bluster of this has to happen, I think the NHL knows that this is one of the things that the players gave up a lot to get this.
Yep.
They have to go, don't they?
Oh, they absolutely do. And it's not, I mean, it's been, I would think at least, let's see, when did the odd close? It's been about 30 years since the NHL had a different dimension because, the odd in Buffalo, along with the Cow Palace and in Chicago Stadium, if I remember correctly, were not completely full 200 by 85. I think if again, this is why it's popping out of my head, so forgive me if it's not. I think the odd was 192 feet. The Cow Palace in Chicago were 185 by 85. And it's interesting how they have gone to an NHL size rink
for the Olympics.
for
Yeah,
the
it
Olympics.
surprised me 'cause you thought it would be on a in Europe. I was surprised when somebody I think I was on with AJ and I was like, oh wait, this is an NHL size rink or less than because I just assumed it's in Italy. It's an Olympic size pad.
Yeah, so 196 by 85.3 is what we're hearing for Milan Cortina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I personally I would just reduce the neutral zone by 1.5 feet.
That's probably what they'll do. The neutral zone. It'll be interesting though. It doesn't sound like right now. It
Or
doesn't
3
sound
feet
like it's
essentially.
going to affect the way that the teams are going into it because again, a shorter ice surface is a lot less ice. It makes you think like, oh, maybe you need to bring like maybe a heavier team, so there's not going to be a lot of room. So you want to
Right.
grind guys down, right? But it doesn't seem like at least no one's tipping their hand if that's the case. It'll be interesting. I think uh, we're going to see some interesting things happen. Obviously, with the rosters, obviously they should be getting announced pretty soon. I think like I keep hearing it's like it's coming, it's coming. I'm like, but when is it coming? I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say there's got to be an announcement at the end of the month. Um, and, and yeah, and yep, the Cow Palace was 185 by 85. Yep, and
Fun.
oh yeah, definitely can throw you off a little bit. But then again, that's well over 30 years ago, and a plethora of different rules that they played under back in the day. Even with and I see Ghost Spiders in there. Yeah, even before then. So yeah, John Svensson saying, "Yeah, I was more focused on the beer options back then."
Fair.
Yeah,
Big
Bud
fair.
and Bud Light. There you go.
Man, there you go. Um, in Sharks prospect news, Sharks prospect goalie Christian Kirsch, who plays for the Kitchener Rangers of the Ontario Hockey League, he was committed to UMass. He is no longer committed to UMass. So it'd be interesting to see if he commits to another school. Christian Kirsch, I believe, could also play on the Barracuda next year. So I wonder if the Sharks went to him and said,
Really?
because I believe he should be, I believe he is in his D+1 season as far as I can remember. So I believe
That
he's 19. So I think he could play in the AHL next year. And I wonder if the Sharks were like, hey, our goaltending situation is kind of shit. You want to come in? You want to come
man.
play with us?
When does the OHL season end?
I don't know, sometime
I mean,
later.
would it be crazy to think of maybe having this kid come up with the Cuda for the playoffs?
I don't know. It'd be interesting because again, like generally that's not what happens.
True.
Like I don't think that they're going to be like, hey, especially like goaltending. Like we saw last year in the playoffs, like Chernyshov and Musty were both there and they didn't really draw in. Like you generally want to go with the guys that brought you there, but I do think that Christian Kirsch, it'll be interesting to see if he commits to a different school. Maybe he's getting some better offers from not that UMass is a terrible program, but it's not like the tippy top of the programs. I'd put UMass probably in the second tier of college. I don't know. I need to get Mark. I'm just kind of talking on my ass here. What do I know?
Mike, where are
Yeah,
you?
where are you, Mark? Come set me straight. Come on,
Mike.
set me straight. I don't know. I feel like UMass is in like kind of like that next tier. They're not like the tippy top,
Right.
but maybe I'm wrong. What the fuck do I know? Nothing. It's
I
college
mean,
hockey. I don't know why I'm even
I
running my mouth.
I want to say it was. I thought UMass Lowell got more appreciation than regular UMass,
I don't know.
but then I might be wrong, and Mark would want to beat the crap out of
Yeah,
us. So.
I don't know. I'm gonna stop talking about things I don't know about. But anyway, but he's been really good for Kitchener. The Kitchener is going to be here on Wednesday. I am going to go to that game. Hopefully he starts this one. I watched when he was here. Last time he was here, I went to the game, but he was unfortunately not starting that game. He has taken over the starting job in Kitchener, so I'm hoping that he will be in net when we go watch on Wednesday night. Nothing super official yet, but we're starting to get rumblings about the World Junior rosters. It sounds like Michael Misa is going to be loaned to Team Canada for the World Juniors. Not official yet, but Tiger Ian scouting so many sharks at the zoo. Kyle Dubas might offer him a job. I would
That is. Man, I keep teasing Jules when she gets her broadcasting degree about losing her, but now, yeah, now great. Waiting for
so
Kyle
but
Dubas to call you up now.
yeah, Kyle Dubas is going to call
I'll
me.
miss you,
It's
Ian.
going to happen. Work for the Penguins. Um, yeah, so we will find out officially tomorrow. This has been reported by a few people. Cam Robinson was the person that I saw it from, but I know it's out there from a few people now.
Right.
So I think again, Michael Misa going to the World Juniors is exactly what I would have done. I think it's a great opportunity for him. I'm curious if he comes back to the Sharks from the World Juniors. I don't know.
That's the big question.
I it's not exactly, he wouldn't be going so here actually John actually kind of dovetailing to what I was actually going to start talking about. Do you think they might send Misa back to the OHL after the World Junior? I don't care about the loss of his contract year. Need him on NHL ice. It doesn't make, I don't, if you're the Sharks and you're sending him back to Saginaw, who is not a good team this year, I don't, unless you have like some guarantee that Saginaw is going to move him to a contender, which would, I think for Saginaw that'd be great, right? Because if they get him back and they could flip him for a bunch of assets, because again, like the window for a junior team is like constantly flipping.
Right.
And they're, this is a team that won a Memorial Cup 2 years ago, and now it's, and now obviously a lot of their big players aren't there anymore. Zane Parek's in Chicago, Michael Misa's in San Jose, or Calgary, sorry, Chicago. Jeez Louise. He is with the Calgary Flames, not the Chicago Blackhawks. My apologies. But I think I think that like Saginaw would probably love the opportunity to flip them for a shit ton of draft picks and stuff so that they can get back into a competitive window.
Sure.
I wouldn't send him back to Saginaw just to play out the string and miss the playoffs. Like, I don't know. And that's it. Yeah, and John's saying I heard someone say Saginaw would flip him immediately if he came back. Sharks broadcast said Misa has been working on his upper body a lot while his lower body was healing. Yeah, I like personally, I would bring Michael Misa back and make sure that you get him in a situation where he can start playing regular games. But if you're not, if it's gonna continue kind of on the way they are, where it's like, he's getting in like the Sharks or what. I know he was injured too, obviously, but he's played 7 games this year.
Yep.
Like it's not, unless if they're not gonna play him almost every night, then maybe it is better to let him go and hope that Saginaw would flip him. No, that's what I think they would do. Like I 100% think Saginaw, that's what they would do. They would get him back and they would absolutely flip him for just a crap ton of assets that can help them, get back into their competitive window again. I don't know. I don't know what the Sharks do. I would bring him back to San Jose with the caveat being that he has to play. Like he has to get the opportunity that Will Smith got last year.
Yeah.
And in the second half, right? Where he just got a chance. And like, again, I think Will Smith went off at the end of last year's season. And you have to give Michael Misa the opportunity to do the same.
But yeah, I mean, Saginaw is near the bottom of the Western Conference in the OHL at 24. Yeah. You look at like Kitchener, maybe Flint. I mean, Windsor would probably put him over the top, or in the East where Brantford is on a here.
Like Brantford's probably the best team in junior hockey this year.
Or Ottawa.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, I can't see him maybe going to, I mean, maybe you go Barrie or Peterborough.
You'd have to go, right? Like again, it would have to be a team that would be flush with things to trade him for. But I don't know. I think this is great for him though. I think that being the opportunity to play for Team Canada, obviously he was snubbed last year, which was a gargantuan mistake in my opinion. Not just because he's Sharks now. I thought it was bullshit at the time it happened too. I think this is a great opportunity for him. He's gonna, he's obviously gonna be a big go-to guy for them at the World Juniors. Big opportunities to play with some really good players. He's going to play in a lot of different situations, very high level of hockey. Like this is fantastic for him. This opportunity with this situation. I mean, they're not going to. I would have sent Dickinson too, though, and then had the contracts sorted out by the time he got back.
Well, and
But I
that's
understand them not wanting, because again, like if you don't want to risk him getting injured or whatever.
right. And kind of seeing a couple of things in the chat here. Paul Medina saying, I would take Misa back once the NHL season ends and send him and Dickey as reinforcements to the AHL playoffs. Can they do that if the NHL season is over?
As long as Saginaw isn't playing, he can go to the Barracuda.
Okay, so it's either Sharks or Saginaw.
Yeah, I don't know, because there's a deadline where you can't send players back anymore. I'd have to go back and look at the rules.
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, like obviously, again, the Sharks are probably not a playoff team. The Barracuda probably are. I definitely see a situation where those guys are definitely down there on the playoff team. Would it matter if either team's playing? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just really curious if there's a way around it. But I think
after being there all year, I don't think it would matter at that point.
Right.
I think it'd be too late for either team to add him back on their roster. But I'd have to go. This is a situation where I'd absolutely have to go and open a rule book and figure out what the thing is. But my gut says that they could both go.
Yeah.
So I also, again, I mentioned that I was watching Oshawa Generals play the Sioux Greyhounds yesterday. The Oshawa Generals got absolutely waxed 11-2.
Oof.
Hoshi was fine though. Like I thought he was good. Like Hoshi Wang, this is my first time really seeing him play in person. I love his skating. Like for a guy his height, I think he skates really, really well. I think if there's a couple things that like maybe I didn't like, there's a couple of times where I think he got moved around by smaller players that probably shouldn't move him around in front of the net. But I thought I thought he played a good game. And in an 11-2 game, I know a lot of people are looking at him now and they're like, oh my God, this guy's a -20. What the hell's going on? One, the Oshawa Generals are really bad. They allow a lot of goals. I think I can't remember what their goal differential is, but it's really high.
It's like -41.
Yeah. But even in that game yesterday, he was only a -2 in an 11 loss, right? They don't use them a lot on special teams, but other than that, like I thought he was generally positionally, I thought he was really sound. Again, I love his skating. I think he skates so well for a guy his height. But yeah, there's, like I said, if I had a couple of things, there's a couple times I think like Brady Martin killed him over by the net. Yeah, and again, he was +3 today. He was +3 with 2 assists, which is great, right? Yeah, I don't know. My viewing, I love his skating. I think he's very positionally sound. I think his gap control's really good. I think he skates really well. It's crazy because you think about like obviously like how long he's been playing hockey, which for those that don't know, not a long time. He picked up hockey really late, and I think there's definitely times in his game where that shows. Where like there's still some inexperience that shows, but I think like just athletically, he's such a freak athlete. I don't know. I like him. I think obviously not the greatest viewing of that team yesterday. They got worked pretty hard.
Right.
It was an 11-2 game. They got worked really hard.
Dan saying Wang was Wong, I should say, +3 with 2 assists today. So nice bounce back for him.
How did Brooks regret? Honestly, he didn't really stand out. I wish I had an answer. I wish I would have known that. Like, I wish you would have asked me this before I went and watched. They didn't look very good at all yesterday. nothing he did super stood out, Luigi. I'm sorry. I wish I could say something better, but nothing like really stood out about his game. I mean, a lot of it, like it was the Chase Reed show yesterday. A lot of it was just watching Chase Reed, who I think is going to be top 10 defenseman going in this draft. Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, nothing really stood out though. Like nothing. He didn't leave any lasting impressions on me in that game. I won't see them again this year. That's the only time they're here. So, unfortunately, dude, I don't really have much to say. I apologize. So yeah, I don't know. Anything else we want to talk about?
Unfortunately, I think we've gotten all the jersey unveilings we got going on, but man, I think we're good. Chase Reed making the prelim roster for USA.
Yeah, it's going to be Chase Reed's an interesting one, right? Because I think he's really like I really like Chase Reed. He's my my son loves Chase Reed. It's his favorite player. It's going to be interesting though because obviously Chase Reed's a guy who left the USA hockey program to come play in junior, and sometimes that comes back and bites people in the ass. So I'm fascinated. Like I know he's on the prelim. I'm fascinated to see if they're gonna, I'm fascinated to see if he actually makes the team or not. If his play can overcome the fact that USA hockey generally punishes the guys that leave the USA program to go to junior.
Ask Quentin Musty. Okay.
Yep. 100%. Who over 25 do you want to stay, and who are we comfortable with losing?
I think you keep Toffoli.
Yeah.
I would like to keep Wenberg around a little bit if you're not going to.
I think Wenberg has to go so Michael Misa can have his spot.
I agree. That being said, where is he going? Because I don't think Vancouver. The Vancouver rumors are legit anymore. Holy crap! Did that change in a heartbeat over there? I don't know. What have you noticed around the league this week? I mean, the Avalanche actually lost a regulation game again to the Islanders.
To the Islanders of all team, which is just insane.
I mean, in the East is just, Buffalo's in last at 26, but the top team in the East is at 37 in Washington. I mean, that's how close it is.
I think that's the thing that, like, we talked about this before, like the standings being where they are, I think is the most surprising thing to me is just how close all these teams are and how I've always been a guy that says all games should be worth the same amount of points.
Yep.
You shouldn't invent a point because, it's overtime. Now we have an extra point that doesn't come. Like, it should be 3-2-1.
Yeah, it should be. I don't know why they are still doing it. I guess this is one of the things that when Gary retires and Bill doesn't want to, follow Gary's orders afterwards, I think that needs to be changed. I'm just looking at the Eastern Conference wildcard.
Mm-hmm.
Pittsburgh 33, Philly 33. Those are the two who are in.
Yeah.
Behind them, Detroit, New Jersey, Rangers, all 33. And then Columbus at 32.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. And then you have Florida, Toronto, Ottawa, three teams that were in the playoffs last year, 30 points. That's just incredible.
It is. Yeah. It's absolutely. Yeah, I don't know, man. The playoff situation is crazy. The schedule this week, let's go over that. Since you mentioned the Flyers and the Penguins, they are both up this week. It is going to be the road trip continues. They will be on Tuesday. They will be playing in the Flyers, who when I wrote this down, were in the second wildcard spot, 5th in the Metro. They are 59-3. They've won their last two games again as of the point I wrote this, which was during the game today. When the Sharks are playing on Thursday, they play the ever so flailing Toronto Maple Leafs, which is another team that's like, I don't know. I mean, 100-point players are hard to replace when you don't replace them with anyone. They are 5th in the Atlantic. They are 13-11-4. They won their last. They lost their last game. Sorry, in overtime.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, they will play the Pittsburgh Penguins, who are surprisingly, again, a surprise team to me. I thought they would be bad. I didn't think they'd be. I didn't think they would be super bad because I think it's hard to be super bad with Sidney Crosby and Malkin, and
Right.
like unless you move those guys, it's hard to be really bad. They are the first wild card team at this point. They're fourth in the Metro. They have a 14-7 and 5 record. They have also won their last 2 games. So again, like they're at play games that have been teams that have been winning games. But I think for me, I mean these are games that I'm a lot less stressed about this week than I was last.
Yeah, no, I think these are. I think all 3 of these coming up are winnable games. I mean, Philly, we're going to see the battle between Bichkov versus Celebrini.
It's Bichkov versus Smith.
Or Smith for that. Well, remember how they got Celebrini got it tied up and everything? Okay,
yeah, that's true. I just think like it's Smith because they were the same draft class.
Oh, of course. And
but
then
yeah, Bichkov versus Celebrini, it's fine. Yeah,
and then you go to 2 years in, we haven't made it through a second season. We're all like, call him a goat. That's the goat. He's the crazy.
Goat. He is the goat. But who else is the goat on this team? It's Macklin Celebrini. It's not close.
Oh, come on! Don't! How dare you insult Ty Dellandrea like that? Oh my gosh! No, that didn't work. Okay,
all right.
The bad joke. But I mean, Toronto. It's a showcase game for Celebrini. That's probably one of his last showcase games
versus Celebrini. I like it.
There you go. That's a good one. And then you have Pittsburgh, where you actually have the guy that could be having some say player wise in Sidney Crosby. Be like, yeah, you might want to get him there. So I expect a big week from Celebrini here. Down. I mean,
I always expect big things because if Celebrini's not going, this team's not going.
But I mean, this could be a huge one. Oh,
yeah.
As we saw in the middle of the week this week. So,
for the San Jose Barracuda, if it's a Wednesday night at Tech CU, you know it's the San Diego Gulls. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. But if it's a Wednesday game at Tech CU, it's generally the San Diego Gulls. Why? I will never know. And then they also will head on the road. They're going to play Friday and Saturday against the Texas Stars. So those should be some good games to watch. Nice to get them outside of their division.
And time zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And Texas has always been a tough opponent for them. So
yeah. So that is the that is the week ahead for the San Diego Gulls and Brett Hedges. Yes. So it's going to be good. Looking forward to that week of Sharks hockey, and then obviously, as always, after every game, we will go live with Pucknology. Wow, throwing it back, throwing it back.
Wow,
Fieldtown After Dark. And then after the week concludes, we will reconvene here for the Pucknologists at 6:00. Pacific, 9:00 Eastern. So that is the week you have to look forward to. These are early games, so you'll probably actually see a lot of my ugly mug this week.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Dark. Yeah. I gotta pitch in when I can. Any final thoughts before we get the fuck out of here?
Hey, if you had a different stock up, stock down, leave a comment down below.
Yeah, let me know.
Let's be great. Yeah, let's be honest. We're all watching Stars and Isles in March. Yeah, that'll be fun. Will it ever? But honestly, they're a little above where I thought they were going to be. But keep doing it, gang. I mean, you had a rough night against Washington. You definitely hung in there against Dallas, one of the best teams in the league. Use that swagger, use that confidence. Don't get too confident though. This week, but you can definitely go 3-0 to finish out this week because it's gonna look. I mean, you're hanging in there.
I'm happy, man. Like they're generally in every game. Like anything they do this season is like it's still house money. This is the greatest time to be a fan in my opinion because it's everything they do. Make the playoffs, house money. Don't make the playoffs, it's fine. And the lottery, where you belong. It's great.
Yes. and then magically win the number 1 overall in the end. Heck yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in it. Anything can happen.
Exactly.
All right. Let's get us the hell out of here. In case you missed this or you want to watch this again, you can find everything we do at tealtownusa.com. If you are currently watching live and you haven't already, hitting the like button is super awesome. Helps us in the good old algorithm, and we get all the likes. If you weren't able to join us live and you have something to say, we got something right, got something wrong, whatever, hit us up in the comment section. Again, that also helps us out. And I always read every comment after every Pucknologist. And if you're super hardcore about what we do, you can hit the bell and you'll be notified anytime we go live, which again is after every game, whenever news breaks, and here on normally on a Sunday at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble with this suddenly. I think in Pacific time most of the time. This is really annoying. But that's it, guys. Once again, thank you for watching the Pucknologist. Thank you for your support, and we will catch you on the next one.
See you Tuesday.
See you Tuesday. I will see you Tuesday. I'm here.
Yes.